you asked it last night on Twitter at GKW_wrestling. What's your letter grade? A plus, B plus, C minus, or F minus? 39% went A plus, 31% B plus.
I said B plus. I voted on our own poll, and I just said at B, it was B plus. I thought the finish was flat for all the action that we saw.
Yeah.
When you have, and I know the comments that's on our Twitter saying, it wasn't great because you had commercials. Hey man, it's on TV. It was going to be commercials. You're going to get picture in picture. Sorry, like
Right.
should Blood and Guts be a PLE pay-per-view main event? Sure. You have enough talent in which you could have done that. I mean, that's fine, but they want to make this a TV event. Okay, great. So I thought that it delivered as far as the action. If you're into that, you're into a handful of thumbtacks into the mouth of Max Caster and he gets kicked. You're into someone being doused with gasoline and almost set on fire again. You want to do that? That's fine. It's much of an acquired taste, I think, that match. But I just thought that for all of that, that's the finish. Not great.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. The other part also that's been talked a lot on social media, the chair shot. And I know there's some stuff, and I don't know if it's AEW pushing it. Like, oh no, it was a gimmick chair, but I don't know if we need that in 2024.
There was a no sell by Jack Perry on that chair also.
Well, if it was real, he was actually knocked out. So I don't know if there was anything to sell.
Well, I mean, like if you get a chair shot, you just can't. I know that he's just this tough guy now that nothing affects him, but that's not Road Warrior Hawk in there. It's Jack Perry. Right. I'm just saying, like, so
Corey Graves took to Twitter and he's since deleted it also, but like saying like we don't need that in this business, like it's not worth it. And it's the guy that suffered from concussions. And I guess if the chair was gimmicked, fine, but like when I saw it, I was like, I don't know if we need that right now.
I would prefer. Well, there's a lot of spots in there I would not have preferred, but I'm a wrestling fan, and what they did is they went for blood and guts because it's what the title says. It's blood and guts, right?
Right.
So it's blood and guts to everybody except for Okada.
Yeah. A staple on his middle finger. What else do you need?
I mean, wait a minute. Like so everybody can take a lot of punishment. Everybody can bleed. Everybody can get staples. Okada, no, I'll just give you a classic drop kick and not bleed.
So I also gave it a B plus. Same thing. The finish was still somewhat of a letdown. Like we got the TNT title match set up for Wembley between Darby and Jungle Boy, but just still not having that big payoff. It's like, oh, all right. And also, Hangman versus Swerve. Like, where are we getting that payoff? Because that's not done yet.
Well, here's what's interesting about this, and this is something we're going to talk about a lot leading up to Wembley. So, yes, that's exactly, I think that's what the audience wants because that's what they're pushing. They're pushing Hangman Page and Swerve because they want to pay off because, again, it's unusual, but a guy that invades someone's home and talks to their kids but somehow becomes a babyface, and that's Swerve Strickland. Hangman Page has a right to be pissed because he was the babyface and the audience turned on him. It's like, no, we like Swerve because he's cool and because his manager carries a cup of coffee. And he does the little dance, and people are into the dance. Okay, great. So if that's the emphasis, then where does that put Bryan Danielson?
Right.
Why is Bryan Danielson indifferent to this match? You saw that promo in the back with Jeff Jarrett talking to him. I'm like, Bryan, do you know that you're in the main event, or at least in a major matchup for the AEW Championship? It didn't seem like he was ready for it.
So I've seen this floated around. I think tying it together, I still love your idea. Danielson wins at Wembley. He's the world champion. And then moving forward, it's title versus career the rest of his career, essentially, the full-time wrestler. Would you be okay if the Swerve Hangman no title is main eventing Chicago the week after Wembley at All Out?
Sure. Okay. You need it. You need something.
Because you still have that weird dynamic. I know they pushed it back a little bit, but it's still pay-per-view right after pay-per-view. So at least that story's been told. Maybe Hangman costs Swerve and that's sort of payback, and then you just push it off to Chicago.
That could be All Out. That could be the main event.
Yeah.
Without the title being on the line. It's got it's at the Now Arena, so it's in suburban Chicago and off in the States. So it'll be a really solid crowd there.